Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So you have clicked on today for an episode of Have You Ever Wondered? Now this is a segment on the channel that I do from time to time when I think of something that I can share with you all, or an experiment that I can do for you all. Now there is a segment playlist all of its own on my channel, so I will link that playlist down below. So if you would like to go back and see some of the other Have You Ever Wondered episodes, please do so. It helps me out massively, and it might you might find something of interest in there. Oh, good gravy. Clearly this is going to be a video where I can't talk properly. Now, maybe one of the reasons for that is for what I am about to impart with you. I had to do some prior preparation for this episode, and in order for me to do so, I had to get my not so artistic talents in play. So it is crochet related, but not as you know it, because I had to do some drawing for you, and drawing is not Manfa's strong suit. I can tell you that much. So apologies in advance for my very childlike drawing. I am surprised that I even managed to draw what I could. But basically, because we have some newbies here, and because I have had a few comments that some of you are completely new to the crochet, yarn, knitting, fibre community, I thought that this could be a good opportunity to go through what some of us call the hieroglyphics on the yarn bands that we get, so that you guys can learn what those symbols mean. Now, personally, it wasn't until I started coming into this community and watching other podcasters before I even had my own channel that I even learnt what any of it meant. Literally, back in the day when I first started, I would literally just pick a yarn because it was the right colour, it was the right weight, as in like a DK or a 4-weight or whatever it was I was looking for, that the price was right, most importantly. It is important for us all. And that was about it. And obviously I tried to get as much yardage as I could, you know, more bang for my buck. But when it came to all the other pictures and things on the yarn band, it didn't even really cross my mind, didn't really look at it in any great detail. And like I said, when I came crashing into the YouTube streets, I realised that actually it's really handy information to know. And I learnt from other people on their channels teaching me what all these symbols mean. So I thought, for anyone that isn't very clear on those symbols, this could be a handy little reference video. So the title of today's video is, Have you ever wondered what those symbols on your yarn band mean? Well, if you have wondered, you're in the right place, because I am going to try and teach you that information. Whether my drawings are good enough for you to even recognize what I'm saying is another matter, but I'm sure you can get the gist of where I will be going with this. So I have got a yarn band handy. In fact, I've just filmed yesterday's video that you will have already seen, hopefully, and I'm filming this one straight afterwards, so I still have that yarn band to hand. So what I am basically talking about, guys, are some of these little symbols, like this one here, and all of these little symbols here. Now my camera is struggling to focus today, and I don't know why. There we go. Now these do vary from yarn band to yarn band, because depending on what the yarn is made from or what company produces the yarn, depends on how you need to care for it. For example, sometimes you need to care for wool differently than you would cotton, and that would be different from acrylic, and so on and so forth. So you do need to know a variety of different symbols and what they mean. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you, like I just did, them on an actual yarn band, but keep in mind that they may be slightly different. And then I am going to go through my hand-drawn pictures. So I am a little bit embarrassed before we start because, like I said, I am not an artist. Crochet is pretty much where it lies, and that's it. So the first symbol that I would like to share with you is this one. It is a square box with a skein of yarn, and on the band of that yarn is a number, and there is also a word in the box as well. So basically this symbol is telling you lightweight 3 or DK. So this is telling you the thickness of your yarn. So if you have a pattern or you've watched a tutorial that you would like to make yourself, if they say lightweight 3 or DK, you need to be looking for this symbol here. Now, not every yarn band in the world is going to have these symbols, but that's okay. There's normally enough information on the yarn bands for you to figure out at least what thickness it is. If it does not have this symbol, but it has the word DK anywhere on it, then you know that it is a lightweight 3. And then similarly, I did another one for a medium 4 or Aran, because we call a 4-weight Aran weight here in the UK. So again, it is a box with a skein of yarn with a number on the band and the word medium inside. So you know that that yarn that you've picked up is a medium 4-weight or an Aran weight yarn. Now, of course, they do it for all the sizes. You know, 1-weight, 2-weight, 3-weight, 4-weight, 5-weight, 6-weight, 7-weight. So, but I wasn't going to do all 7. I thought just doing the 3 and the 4 shows you the difference and what you are to look out for should you need to know the weight of your yarn. So there we go. We now know what weight of yarn we have in our hand, which is excellent. But if you make a project, especially if you're going to be gifting it to someone you're not going to be caring for yourself, I mean, you need to know the information to be able to care for it yourself, but it's even more important that when you gift it to someone, you can let them know how best to look after the project that you have made. So now we're going to get into the washing and drying and other bits and pieces. So, okay, the next picture I'm about to show you is the most embarrassing, all right? But it's okay. We're all friends here, right? I mean, you can have a giggle. It's all right. Just don't be mean about it. I'm doing my best. I am not an artist. So if you see a box with what looks like a bowl of water and a hand inside, then that means hand wash. So you cannot throw it in the washing machine. You have to wash it by hand, guys. That means that it is a very delicate fibre and that you need to be really delicate with how you care for it as well. Okay, so that one is hand wash. The next one could look a little bit like this. Now it's still a box with what looks like a bowl of water, but there's no hand in this one. So this one actually means that you can machine wash. But because they've put 30 degrees Celsius inside the box as well, it's telling you that you can machine wash up to 30 degrees. Don't go any hotter or you could run the risk of felting the yarn, making the yarn, I don't know, lose a lot of its colour and become faded. It could become bobbly, all of those things. It says 30 degrees Celsius. So obviously you guys across the pond, you would have to Google what 30 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit, and then you know how hot you can have your washing machine at. So yes, machine wash up to 30 degrees. And then I did another one up to 40 degrees. So it's exactly the same, but because that number has changed, you now know that you can wash it in a machine up to 40 degrees Celsius. And again, just a quick Google search will let you know the Fahrenheit equivalent. Okay, now the next one looks even more different. It's still a bowl of water, but this time it has 2 dots inside the water, and it has 2 lines underneath. And this one means machine wash low. So the coldest wash or the gentlest wash that you can put your machine on. So again, this is for the more delicate of yarns, maybe the more expensive of yarns. I mean, personally, if I was using a super expensive bougie yarn, I would go back to doing the hand wash. But if it's a, well, like the yarn that I was just showing, the Mainstays, which was the label that I just shown, and on this label it says machine wash low, I would feel confident that I would be able to do that. But I would be sure to put it on the lowest temperature and the gentlest of washes and spin cycles as well, guys. So there we go, machine wash low. I hope this is helpful to some of you, but if not, just humour me. Okay, now the next symbol. There is one of our YouTube friends here that says no triangles. And what she means by that is do not bleach. It is a box with a triangle and the triangle is crossed out, meaning no, don't do it. Do not bleach your items that you have created. I have come across the odd skein of yarn where it says that you can use a special type of bleach, but to be careful, I would never in a million years bleach anything that I have made out of yarn. So I just live by the golden rule of no triangles, do not bleach ever, ever. Okay? But that is what it means. Okay, we're going on to the drying phase of our yarn caring. Now this one is a box and there's another box inside that. Inside that is a circle with a dot in the middle and 2 lines below it. This means tumble dry low. So again, I would put it on the coolest temperature that I have and the most gentle tumble dry cycle I have as well. To be honest with you, I don't think I have ever tumble dried anything that I have crocheted apart from maybe cotton washcloths. Everything else I just lay flat to dry. And I forgot to draw you a symbol of lay flat to dry. Oh no. I'll have to do that at the end. But that one is tumble dry low. But for me, I just don't tumble dry my crocheted or fibre made things. Okay, the next one is tumble dry. So it's a box, and inside the box you have another box, and inside of that box is a circle, and that basically means that you are okay to tumble dry. Again, I don't recommend tumble drying, but I'm just letting you know what these symbols mean. And then if it's that symbol but with an X through it like this one, it means do not tumble dry. Okay. Right. The next one is this one here. It is a box with what looks like an iron in it. It means you can iron. Okay, and I've also realised that I haven't done another symbol, so I'm just going to add to this one. Because if you see the same symbol but with 2 dots in the iron, it means you can iron on low. It might even have the lines underneath as well. But if it's an iron with dots in the middle, do it on a low heat setting. Again, I don't think I have ever ironed any of my pieces. I don't think I ever would. But those symbols are there saying that you can. And then obviously if there's an iron with a cross through it, it means do not iron. Okay. Now we have gotten to the dry cleaning symbols, okay? Now this one is a box with a circle inside and the letter A. Now I don't know what the cleaning chemicals are called. And again, I have never taken any of my crocheted pieces to a dry cleaners. But if you did want your things dry cleaned, you would have to tell the person doing the dry cleaning that you can only use the A solvent, the A chemical, because that is what the yarn band says. And similarly, if it's one with a P in it, only dry clean using the P solvent. And that's why some of us have a giggle when we say dry clean using P, because it just sounds funny. Now, because I've realised that I've forgot the lay flat to dry symbol, and I've got to rack my brains now as to what that is. I think it is this. In fact, I'm going to Google it quickly because, you know, I don't want to teach you wrong. And like I said, I normally lay flat everything of mine to dry anyway. Yes, I thought so. Okay. So there we go. Lay flat to dry is just a box with a line in it. Sometimes it will say just dry flat underneath it. It's the same thing. Lay flat to dry, dry flat. It's exactly the same thing, guys. And normally I peg mine out on the line to dry, or I dry it over the top of a door or something, which works absolutely fine. Now, I didn't feel like drawing these symbols, but we can go back to the yarn band as well. This symbol here, if my camera will focus. Come on. There we go. The two needles crossed over themselves, they are knitting needles. And it will tell you a 5.5mm or a US 9. So if you see those two crossed over, then that is knitting needles. What is lovely about this one is they have put the gauge you need around it as well. So it's basically saying if you do a piece in your knitting needles that is 4 inches by 4 inches or 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, you should have 17 stitches that way and 23 rows of 17 stitches. That is what the gauge is. And similarly, that symbol there is a crochet hook. It gives you the size in millimetres up there or the letter size down there. So in this case, it's a 5.5mm or a USI 9. And again, 4 inches by 4 inches or 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres. You should have 12 single crochets and 15 rows of that 12 single crochets should measure 10 by 10 centimetres or 4 by 4 inches. So that is them giving you the gauge. So if you are picking a yarn and then you are following a pattern and you need to meet gauge, this is how it helps you work it out. So there we go. There is Manfa's little lesson on the hieroglyphics on a yarn band. Was that helpful? I don't know. Did it at least give you a giggle at my really rubbish drawing? Yeah, I just find it really handy information. Now, I'm sure you will come across more symbols that you've never come across before. And that is absolutely fine because you can literally just Google laundry guide, laundry symbols, something like that. And then they will all come up for you to look at, and then you should be able to find it and you will know exactly what you need to do with your finished piece. So there, little bit of a yarn lesson there without actually any yarn apart from the example skein to show you. So keep an eye on them, guys. Have a little practice. Maybe pull some yarn skeins out of your stash and have a look at the symbols that are on your band and see if you can figure out what it is trying to tell you, because they don't really write it out word for word for you. So the more info you've got, the better you can care for your yarn and the projects you make with it. So I feel I have done my job for the day. Thank you so very much for tuning in and watching. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I will link the playlist of the Have You Ever Wondered episodes down below, and hopefully I will come back with another episode for you soon. I just need to think about an experiment or something that I can teach you, or a mystery we need to solve at a later date. So if you have anything that you would like me to help you with, pop it down below and I'll see what I can do. Please do come back tomorrow for a book look. We're going to be looking through a beautiful book that I was gifted, and it is full of cuteness and adorableness. So if you're down for a bit of that, come back tomorrow. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you loads.